Hello Year 4, I hope you're all okay. Today in PDW we're going to be starting a new unit all about family and friends. Today specifically we are going to be looking at who our VIPs are. You are then going to be looking at how you can show your VIPs respect and really understand why it's so important to respect your VIPs. To start with, do you know what a VIP stands for? That's right, it's a very important person. Now, I want you to have a think. Who are the important people in your lives and why are they important? You might have said some people like your family, your friends, pets, neighbours, even teachers, or the office staff, or the dinner ladies. There are lots of important people that you might consider as your VIPs. Now I want you to consider, why is it important to treat these VIPs kindly? What can happen if we don't treat our family and friends with respect? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, so I want you to think, what different relationships do people have? Well, you have friendships, you might have romantic relationships when you get older, you might have online relationships, you might also have family relationships. So there's lots and lots of different relationships that you might have. Today we'll be learning specifically about who is important to us and why we need to treat these people with kindness and respect. So we've had a think about who your very important persons are, your VIPs. Now what I would like you to think, your family members and close friends probably will be your very important people, and this will be personal to you. And how we treat these special people in our lives is very, very important. When we grow up, our family is really, really important to us. So your parents, they will have helped you to grow up to the person you are today. They will look after you. So they're very important to you. I want you to think, how does your family make you feel? You might have said they made you feel loved. They might make you feel protected, safe, secure. They might make you feel happy. Families give us love, security and stability. Now, people in families show love for each other and are there for each other. So you might be going to your family members, so your brother, your sister, your parents, your grandparents, if you feel a bit worried or a bit sad about something, and they will give you love and stability and security. They'll show you that they care for you, so they're a really secure, important person in your life. It's really, really important to show people that we respect them, and we can also expect people that we care about to show us respect too. So not only can we show that we respect our very important people, but they can actually show that they respect you too. I want you to think, how could people show respect to one another? Pause the video and have a think. Okay. We know that we should always be treated with care and respect by people that we care about, so that those relationships make us feel safe and secure. And if we don't feel that this safe and secure, we can speak to a trusted adult who we know that will look after us. Who do you think is your trusted adult? You might have said your parents, your grandparents, your carers, and even your teachers too. So if we aren't feeling like we are being respected or cared for, then we can speak to any of these people and other people too that we do trust and that they can give us really good advice. I want us to think about what being kind means now. You can see here that there's a definition on my slide that being kind is when someone has or shows a friendly, generous and considerate nature. So it involves thinking of others and doing things that make them happy. Can you think of any examples of kindness in school? Pause the video and have a think. You might have said lots of different examples, some really easy acts of kindness. I know I say this to you a lot, saying please and thank you when someone holds the door open for you. That's a really good act of kindness. Maybe if someone lets you play with them at playtimes or lunchtime, that's an act of kindness too. Or if someone lets you borrow something that they need, obviously when we're allowed to, that's really nice too. Can you now think of any examples of kindness on a bigger scale, such as in the community? So if you're out and about, maybe on a walk or doing shopping with your family, can you think of any ways that you could be kind? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, so you might have thought of several ideas. Maybe you might have thought of saying even please and thank you when you're about, when you see people, if you're walking your dog, or if you're in the supermarket, maybe someone might drop something that belongs to them, and then you might be kind and pick it up and say, excuse me, you dropped this. Or someone might have left some money on the side that you might have seen, and you might hand that in and say, here you go, here's this money, it doesn't belong to me, I need to do the right thing, I need to be kind and give this money back. So there's lots of ways that you can be kind, both in school but also in the wider community too. Really important to understand that being kind does not mean never having what you want or always letting others get their own way. Because some people can take other people's kindness for granted. Now this word here, taking their kindness for granted, what do you think that means? It means that they know how friendly and how kind and how generous a person is, and what they do is they use this to their own advantage to get what they want. But that's not very nice, and that can actually drive them away as a friend too. So we don't want to be doing that. How do you think we should treat the kind people in our lives? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so for example, if I were to treat a kind person who was being kind to me in a negative way, and I would just shrug it off my shoulders, I'd never say thank you, I'd never say please, I'd never say be kind back, do you think that's okay? No, it's not okay, is it? We need to treat the kind people in our lives the way that they treat us. We need to treat them with kindness and respect too. We're going to have a think how we can do that. Part of being kind is including people that we care about. So I want you to think and have a look at this picture. How does it make you feel when people include you? Whether or not they're including you in a game or a party or inviting you to something. How does that make you feel? Pause the video and have a think. So I can see that in this picture that there are two boys and they are playing with each other. They are including each other in their game, and that may make you feel very happy. It might make you feel wanted, might make you feel very secure. It just might make you feel very, very, very happy. However, have a look at this picture here. Now this is a picture of 3 children at the back who are all playing a game, but there's someone in front of them who's clearly being left out. Imagine if you were that person, and imagine how that would feel. Can you pause the video and have a think for me, please? Okay, so you might have said you might feel lonely, you might feel quite isolated, some of you might feel pretty worthless, especially if it happens every day. So I think we'd all agree that we'd much rather be in this situation on the left. Would you agree, Year 4? Me too. And we said about this word of feeling very lonely. Now, if we feel lonely, we can make people feel very, very unhappy, and behaving in a caring way to people that are important means that they won't feel lonely and they won't feel excluded or isolated. So we need to make sure that we do show our VIPs that care. We're going to go on to looking more at respect now. Now, respect means that you're showing regard, so you're taking into consideration the feelings or wishes that other people want. So this could look like giving attention to them by listening to them, taking their views on board, not just ignoring what they're saying. It means treating them in a way that we want to be treated too. We're being fair, we're being honest to them, accepting them for who they are, not laughing at them if they've made a mistake. And this would mean that you have a happy and healthy relationship, whether that be with your friends or your family, and that will make you both feel safe and happy. I want you to think of the 3 following questions. I'm going to ask you to pause the video here and just have a think of the following questions, please. Okay, so you should have had a think about those now. How can we show respect for our very important persons? What should we do if our very important persons do not make us feel safe and happy? And why should we show our very important persons respect? So we have got a scenario here, and it's all about showing we care. So I'm going to read you the scenario, and I want you to have a think. Jude is playing a football game online against his friends. He is speaking to them over his headset, but they keep letting goals in and giving the ball away to the other team. Jude is telling his friends that they are rubbish and that it is their fault that they are losing. Jude thinks he's being funny, but his friends are really upset. Jude can't see their reactions, he can only hear them, so he doesn't realise how upset they are. Okay, I want you to think of this question now. How does the way that we behave affect other people when we are with them in person? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so we know that when we are with someone in person, we can physically see their reactions to what we're saying to them. So we know that normally if we're saying something to someone and we can see they're getting a little bit upset, that we know now to stop, apologise and sort the issue out. But how could our behaviour online affect other people? What do you think? Pause the video and have a think. Well, online, can we see other people's reactions when you're saying something? No. So, in the example above, we know that Jude carried on saying hurtful things. He didn't stop. But he might not have realised his friends were upset because when we're online to someone, we can't see their reactions. So we have to be even more careful when we speak to someone. And we should always make sure that we consider other people's feelings. And that will help us with how we communicate too. What I would like you to do now is pause the video and look at the respect scenario cards which are in your resource pack for today's lesson. Now these respect scenario cards show where someone is not showing respect to their family and friends, and then we're going to see the consequence of these actions. And I want you to think of the two following questions. Question number 1. How does showing our very important persons respect and treating them with kindness affect their lives? How does that make them feel? And how does it affect our lives when we treat others with kindness and respect? I want you to also consider what aren't they doing very nice? How are they not being kind in these scenarios? So if you just pause the video here and then you can have a think about those, please. Off you go. Okay, now, why do we have friendships in our lives? And how can we make sure our friendships are positive and healthy and that they support our well-being rather than become a hindrance and become negatively impacting us? Have a think of this question, please. So we might have friendships in our lives because you might have something in common with those people, so you might have some common ground that you can talk about. You might have friendships in your lives because they make you happy, they make you feel safe, you look forward to seeing them. And it's really important to remember that when you have healthy relationships, that it's all about both of you respecting each other, trusting each other, being kind, okay? To build positive relationships, we need to start off by having a healthy friendship with someone. And if it's healthy, then it will mean that you are both being supportive and you are both making each other feel safe and healthy. And that is how you know if you've got a healthy friendship. And like I said before, it's really important to find that common ground with someone. If you like something that's the same, whether or not you both like football or you both like art, then that's going to really help you to really make that bond and really good friendship and keep that friendship too. Okay. I want you to think, how does it feel when we are treated with respect and kindness? We're going to have a look at this question by looking at the following scenarios and discussing how each character is feeling. So in the first one here, Matt is watching some other children play cricket. He doesn't join in and he doesn't know how to play, but his friend Dafari comes over and says he will teach Matt how to play if he would like to join in too. Pause the video and have a think, how does it feel? Okay. So you might have thought that it was really kind of Tafari to come over and say that he will teach Matt how to play. The final one then. Teresa is sad because she is missing her grandma who recently passed away, but her friend Trishna is giving her a card she has made to try and cheer her up. Pause the video and how does it feel? How do you think she feels? Okay, you might have said that she might feel really happy, even though something sad has really happened to her recently. Having this card from her friend will make her feel loved and supported and know that people are around her. Okay, if you'd like to pause the video and have a look at this one, you can. Okay. Your task for today. Thinking of everything we've discussed so far, I would like you to create a list of ways that you can show your very important person's respect. So you'd like to put the idea here, for example, by helping them if they're sad, and then give the example of how you do that, okay? So maybe you'd write them a card or give them flowers. That is your task for today, Year 4. So have a lovely lesson, and I will see you in our next video. See you later.